Scalping Betfair's horse racing markets is simple when you're not making a few common mistakes. Understanding these mistakes will help you identify profitable trading indicators in some instances too. So starting off with the first one straight away, trading too early. Trading something that is not there. I'm talking about liquidity, money that's available and money that is also passing through the market. Take a look at this comparison on the screen here. On one side, we've got a low liquidity example. There's not a lot going on. There's very little activity and there's not much money available in the market to be matched in terms of unmatched money. Versus the other side of the screen, we've got a high liquidity situation, lots going on, money's being turned over, it's more stable and there's more money available to be matched. So scalping is a low risk short-term strategy where we're only looking to take 1 or 2 ticks per race. Sometimes we can take more, but just focusing in on that 1 or 2 ticks per race to start is the best place. But we're risking 1 tick for 1 tick in most instances, or maybe 2 ticks for 2 ticks. But the point is, we're going to limit our risk and exposure at all times. And a large part of doing that is making sure that there's actually something to trade and it's safe to do so in the actual situation. The good news is you don't need to know where the market's moving a lot of the time when we're scalping. And that's why this scalping strategy on Betfair is so popular. Market activity does the hard work for us, and the market actually gives us some profit via stakes being matched either side of the market. We just need to make sure that there is fluid liquidity within the market so we can get our bets matched on lower risk. Scalping at the wrong times is the worst mistake you can make. So looking at that example over on the left where there's low liquidity, if you're trying to scalp in this sort of situation 10, 20 minutes before the start of a race, you're going to get yourself in a real pickle. You're trying to trade something that's not there and you haven't got enough money to get out against, especially once you start climbing up the stakes and increasing the amount that you're scalping the market for. The trick, if ever there were one, is to dance around the market activity and absorb and take the profit that the market gives us. Now, I've already started to touch on the second point there. Over trading is almost as bad as trading in the wrong situation with no liquidity. So the second biggest mistake that all beginners make when scalping Betfair is overstaking for that situation. You can't treat every situation exactly the same. A handicap race trades very different to a maiden race. A group race is going to trade very different to some poor quality stuff on the all-weather late in the evening. Now, another point on that is overstaking for the situation because of euphoria, emotion, or maybe even excitement whilst you're trading the market. We don't want to be chasing our losses. We don't want to be getting emotional. We want to be treating this very mechanically and methodically as a strategy. Overstaking is often linked to those kind of emotions. It's key to trade what you actually see, not what you want to see within the market, because that allows us to focus on limiting risk, waiting for an advantageous position and absorb those profits from that fill rate, because that is the edge for scalping a lot of the time. The fill rate, the fact that money is flowing into the market. Whilst we're doing that, we want to scratch our positions, cancelling things out fast if it's not looking like it's going to be filled on both sides of the book. Again, not really focusing on the direction unless you're directional scalping. And a large part of that is actually accepting that every trade isn't supposed to be a winner. Trading is just a game of winning more often than not. So once you sort of accept and absorb that mentally into your trading plan, you focus on that and realize that with your scalping strategy, you become more emotionally immune. The situation leads the opportunity, not the other way around, with our desire and our need and greed and wants and all that sort of stuff dictating our scalping strategy. If that happens, you're just absolutely destined to fail. So remember, that is key. Don't hesitate. Don't be greedy. Don't get excited. They're the biggest downfalls. Now, the third point is poor execution. Not limiting your exposure to risk for whatever reason. Maybe it's one of those previous reasons, but being prepared ahead of the game is part of a scalper's edge. We're just absorbing them fill rates either side of the book, managing our entries and exits as the market ebbs and flows back and forth. Things can get hectic. We can have lots of stakes in the market as you get more advanced, but I would advise as a beginner that you actually focus on getting 1 or 2 scalps through the market and not have too many stakes in the marketplace as you learn sort of this scalping strategy. The timing is important. In fact, it's absolutely crucial. Don't push too hard, don't overstake, don't put too many stakes in the marketplace, and make sure that your execution is concise, clear, and you stick to the plan. It gets easier with experience, and you will actually find that after you've been doing it a little while, you can manage the positions in the market a little bit more effectively. But that prior planning and being ahead of the market is part of a scalper's edge and advantage over other people in the marketplace who A, aren't even thinking like that, and B, of those that aren't managing to actually do it. It helps eradicate those daft emotional clicks and feelings and mistakes in there too. So if you can stay ahead like this, scalping Betfair in line with the market volumes and activity, you'll be so much more profitable than someone trying to match big stakes all the time and get even more profits out of the market. Being consistent and doing the right thing are more important than anything else. So check out this Betfair scalping strategy breakdown to make sure you know what all the right things are, and subscribe for future betting scalping examples on this channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.